Hello everyone, we've got another ice cream video. New machine, new methods, and new expectations. I have acquired the Nostalgia electric ice cream maker, and right out of the box, it's a lot more intimidating than that last one. It's bigger, a lot bigger, better, stronger. But before we get to any of that, Chip? Alright, so I know I said it's bad business to use your own product, and it really is. But Thanewood Farms is getting assistance with its milk reserves. I can't show you that here, but big thanks to Momo and Aya. Appreciate you. Anyway, recipe. We have 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 cups of whole milk, 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. As you can tell, this is a whole lot more than the amount of ingredients that we were using last time. You can add in a few pinches of salt if you feel like it, but I decided not to, simply because last time I tried adding salt, nothing really happened. And in my head, I kind of just blamed the salt. You want to mix all of this together and get it chilled. You want to do this before the icification process. While that's cooling, make a note that you need to have rock salt. I don't care what TikTok or Instagram says, until I see it in person, those videos are fake. You need rock salt and ice to make anything close to real ice cream. No substitutions, no replacements. It's gotta be this. You gotta have ice and you gotta have rock salt. And it does take a fair bit of ice, so keep that in mind. Also, I should have mentioned it a little bit before, but the cooling bowl, the bowl that all of this mixture is going to go inside of, that's going to need to be chilled as well. It doesn't need to be frozen, just cool to the touch. Once all of that's cooled down, you're going to take this big red bowl right here, and you're going to put the cooling bowl in the middle. I actually wasn't expecting this to work the way that it does, but it actually is pretty neat. The cooling bowl is in, and you'll notice that there's a gap between it and the red bucket. You know, so it's a smaller container inside of a bigger container. You're going to pour in your mixture into the cooling bucket, so it's inside of the metal container, not inside of the red one. The red bucket has nothing in it yet. Once that's done, you're going to put ice in around the outside of the metal bucket. And you're going to do this in layers. You're going to do a layer of ice. You're going to add in rock salt, and add in more ice, and then some more rock salt. The ice needs to be broken up into small chunks, and that's why you're going to need a lot of it. That's the icification process happens here. Once that's in, you're going to put the actual mixing. Oh, hold on a second. You're going to put in the mixer paddle, and you're going to put in lid on top of that. That's where the mixer goes on and connects, and it hooks onto 2 holes that are on the top of the red bucket. You plug in the mixing machine and it'll just automatically start stirring. It's very important that every so often, about every 10 minutes or so, you mix up the ice itself, like you should shake it around. I used a big metal spoon to do this. If the ice starts to go down, just add some more and add in rock salt. Don't be stingy with it. That will continue to mix for, it says 40 minutes around, but I left mine in a little bit longer because, wanted to make sure that it was working. The entire metal container is going to actually spin, as well as the paddle on the inside that's mixing up the milk mixture. So there's going to be some friction. There might be a little bit of a scraping sound, but it's not that bad. It's just ice, maybe some of the rock salt. And that friction is going to cause that ice to melt as well. But at the same time, it's also transferring its coolness into the... Look, I'll be honest, I have no idea how it works. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know the science behind it. But if you do this, it will make ice cream. And that ice cream is delicious. As you can see here, this is the finished result. And, yeah. It's a little bit on the soft serve consistency. But again, that's apparently a fairly common thing. You can either leave it in the cooling container and put it in the freezer for longer, or transfer it into something else and put it in the freezer. But unless you're a fan of like super soft served ice cream, you're probably going to want to freeze it for just a little bit longer to get it more solid. But even if you do, when you pull it back out, it's going to be actual ice cream, not frozen milk. There shouldn't be any ice crystals. And if you mixed everything well enough, then you shouldn't have bits of the ice cream that are more flavored than others if you've mixed it properly. This time I only did vanilla. I didn't want to get too fancy with it because the last machine I jumped right into coffee ice cream and it didn't turn out as well as I liked it. But you can bet that next time we're going to start to get fancy with it. I definitely underestimated how difficult it was to make ice cream, but now that I have a bit more of understanding that goes into it, I think that getting those fancy flavors and intricate ideas, adding stuff, candy, cookies, fruit, making it with different ingredients other than, milk, because I know a lot of people don't like dairy. I know there are a lot of vegans among you. No shame to the vegans. But this foundation is going to give me the ability to make different things, different options for people depending on what they do and don't like. And with that being said, leave any ideas you have for types of ice cream or interesting ingredients that we might be able to use to make ice cream down in the comments below. That's going to do it for me, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later.